The same rule for increasing applies to decreasing. You should decrease the same amount of stitches, which in this case is 6 stitches, each round for it to maintain its shape. They also need to be distributed evenly throughout the round. What you normally do is reverse what you did. On my last round of increases, I made this. Increase 2 single crochet 6 times. This means that I should decrease in the same manner. So I should decrease 2 single crochets 6 times. I will make my first decrease here. The decrease will use 2 stitches. There are multiple ways to make a decrease in the round, but in this case I will show you the invisible decrease, which is the one that I use the most. You're going to insert your hook on the front loop only of the next stitch, and also through the front loop of the other stitch after that one. So these 2 stitches, we have the front loops on our hook. Now I'm going to pull a loop. Yarn over and pull through both loops on the hook. That is an invisible decrease. A normal decrease would look like this. You insert your hook through the next stitch, pull a loop, insert your hook on the next stitch after that, and pull another loop. Then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. If you already know how to decrease in rows, you probably see that this is the same as a decrease in rows, but in working in rounds, this decrease will be noticeable, so I never use this decrease for my amigurumis. Now that I made a decrease, I need to make 2 single crochets, 1 on each of the next 2 stitches. So I'm going to make 1 and 2. And now I will repeat the decrease and then 2 single crochets and so on all around this round. After that round, I will just add some fiber fill into the sphere, because now that it starts to close, you should start stuffing the work, because later on it will become more difficult to do so. Now for my next round, I will be making 1 single crochet and 1 decrease all around. So I make 1 single crochet, decrease, one single crochet, decrease, and so on. As you can see, the sphere is starting to pull to the center and closing up. That's what decreasing does in the round. For my last round, I will just decrease 6 times. So we are actually mirroring what we did with the increases. Now I will show you how I close this sphere. This has nothing to do with decreases or increases, but since we're already making a sphere, I want to show you how I close it. I cut the working yarn, leaving a long tail because we're gonna use that tail to close. We're gonna grab a yarn needle and thread it with the tail. And we're going to sew only through the front loops of all the stitches of the round. Now we're just going to pull the tail to close the hole in the middle. And now we just weave in this tail somewhere. And just like that, we have made a sphere. So with this sphere, you learned how to make a magic ring, how to place your first stitches, how to make increases, how to expand your circle with increases, how to build up walls by crocheting even, and then how to start closing up your sphere with decreases. So let's talk about some troubleshooting or some problems that you may encounter if you do something wrong. So what happens if you increase too fast? Increasing too fast will ruffle your work. This may be a desired effect for scrunchies, for example. But if you see that your work is ruffling and it is not intended, then it means you're increasing too fast. This means you're making more increases per round than you should. That would have happened in my example if I made 8 increases in a round, for example, or if I made 6 increases on that second round and then 12 increases and then so on, multiplying it by 2. That would be increasing too fast. So again, if you see that your work is ruffling, you need to lower your increases per round. But what happens if you increase too slow? Increasing too slow will create a cone-like shape, because that means that the shape is not expanding flatly like it should. Again, this could be a desired effect, but if you're not trying to make a cone, then you need to add more increases per round. That would have happened in my example if I made 3 increases per round instead of 6. And what happens if you place your increases only on one side? The effect this would create would be to have one side of the shape expand while the other side goes up like a wall. We would basically be increasing on one side and crocheting even on the other. This is good to know because once you start experimenting with the increases and decreases and see how they shape your work, it will really be helpful when designing your own patterns and your own projects. So as you can see, increases and decreases are one of the main reasons your work will take shape when working in rounds. Playing around and experimenting with them will help you understand them better and will make you a better designer in the future. So as a summary, increases will expand the shape, any shape. In this case we used a circle, but it can be used for making squares, making triangles, which again I will make videos for those, because those are really interesting as well to see. Crocheting even will build up walls, and decreasing will shrink the shape. If you want an even flat shape, you should increase the same amount of stitches every round, and also you should place the increases evenly throughout the round. And that's it for this video. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions for future videos, comment them below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content like this, please subscribe. Also, make sure to check out my social media for more content. Happy crocheting! Bye!